Hey there, I'm Will Hawkins, and I'm here with Headliner, and today we're going to be speaking with Lance Powell, Chief Engineer at Woodshed Recording. Can you tell me a little bit about how you use the Anubis module within your day-to-day work?
So the Merging Tech Anubis that I have here, I incorporate that into all of my studio work I do, really. And when I go into studios, I take it with me as well, just so I've got the same system everywhere I go. The thing sounds great. It stands up to any studio converter I've ever put it up against. And it's easy and quick to set up as well and get going. So if I come in here, I'll bring in here. If I'm just doing overdubs of vocals and guitars and things like that, I'll plug straight into that and go into my system. If I'm on the road and I go into any other studio and I'm doing overdubs in there, I'll take it in as well and pretty much make myself completely self-sufficient with it as well. So I don't have to worry about the studio's gear and anything that breaks in there and any noises I have or any little quirks I have. I can just plug straight into here, within minutes be up and running, and do that with no compromise in sound as well.
I understand that the preamps for the Anubis are pretty special. Can you explain why that is?
The Anubis preamps are really great. I really like them. Tons of clean gain on them. The units have DSP on board, so you can put an EQ on the preamp as well and track that into Pro Tools with it. So you're getting rid of any rumble, you're adding any top end you need before you're recording as well. You're kind of getting a really good sound into Pro Tools, and it makes the performer happy because you've got a great sound going to the headphones. It makes me happy because when I come to mix, it's a whole lot easier.
And how about the headphone amps?
I've been doing a lot of remote mixing on the road, and then when you're in hotel rooms and rehearsal rooms and tour bus, you're doing everything on headphones, so you need a really good headphone amp to make it work. And since using the Anubis and mixing on headphones, when I go into studios to check things before sending them off, there's not a whole lot I have to change. Like, what you hear really is what you get. Whereas on some of the more kind of prosumer and middle of the road interfaces that you see a lot around the place, it's not quite the same thing. It sounds a lot different. So the Anubis, I've been really impressed with that.
I understand that there are two different missions within the Anubis module. Can you explain a little bit more about that for us?
So the Anubis has two missions. One is the music mission, one is the monitor mission, and it basically reconfigures the software inside the unit depending on what you want to do and what you're trying to achieve. So the music mission is more for when you're doing multi-track recording and different musicians and you want to set up cue sends and effects and things like that. The monitor mission is for more when you're mixing and just doing overdubs, and that's what I use it for. So when it's on the monitor mission, it's really great because you've got two different speaker outputs. So in my home studio, I've got my PMCs and my NS10s. So I can easily switch between PMCs and NS10s, and you easily control those. And you've got two headphone outputs as well with independent control. So I can plug my headphones in, and you've got great headphone amps. The touch screen is really handy as well because within Pro Tools, I can send out different outputs to the touch screen. You can select what you're listening to. So I'll always have my mix. I always get a reference song in Pro Tools. It might be the rough mix, and I'll send that out as well. So at a touch of a button, I can flick between my mix and the rough mix. When I'm doing mix revisions as well, I'll send out the previous mix to a different button on the touch screen so I can hear what the previous mix sounded like versus my current mix versus a rough mix as well. And then you can also send out from anywhere in your Pro Tools session as well an extra output. So what I do, there's always a few things I have on my master bus in Pro Tools. So I've set up a send that goes out before my master bus so I can hear what the mix is sounding like before any compressors or anything like that on the master bus sounds like. All with a touch and button, so it's really great for that. You can also check things in mono on here. You can also mute different speakers if you'd like. You can also calibrate your different outputs to be anything you need. It's really flexible for that. So it's like a really high-end audio interface and a really high-end monitor controller all built into one nice handy little box.